Welcome to the Leadership Blueprint Podcast. If you're a founder, executive, or senior leader who feels like growth has slowed, not in revenue, but in clarity, influence, or personal effectiveness, this episode is for you. I want to be clear about something up front. Leadership is not about charisma, it's not about confidence, and it's certainly not about titles. Leadership is about how you think, how you regulate yourself under pressure, and how others experience you when the stakes are high. And today I want to unpack why so many capable leaders plateau and what the highest performing leaders do differently. Here's the uncomfortable truth most leaders do not want to hear. You don't plateau because you lack intelligence, ambition, or work ethic. You plateau because the strategies that got you here stop working at scale. Early success rewards speed, control, and personal competence. Being the smartest in the room, again, got you to where you are now, but as your organization grows, those same behaviors become liabilities. At the executive level, leadership is no longer about doing more, working harder, and solving every problem yourself. It becomes about decision quality, emotional regulation, clarity under uncertainty, and your ability to create alignment without force. Most leaders fail to make that transition. This is where an academic background matters. Leadership is not primarily behavioral, it's psychological. Under pressure, leaders don't rise to the level of their vision, they fall to the level of their internal regulation. That means how you handle ambiguity, how you respond when authority is challenged, how you think when outcomes are uncertain, and how you manage your nervous system in high stakes moments. These are not surface level skills. They are deeply conditioned patterns. That's why smart, successful people often over-control, avoid difficult conversations, delay decisions, or default to intensity instead of clarity. Not because they're weak, but because they've never trained the inner architecture of leadership. In my work with executives, I consistently see three internal shifts that separate plateaued leaders from exceptional ones. Shift number one is from control to context. Average leaders try to control outcomes. Elite leaders design environments where right outcomes emerge naturally. They focus less on directives, micromanagement, and more on decision frameworks, psychological safety, and clear priorities. They don't manage people, they manage conditions. Shift number two is from reactivity to response. Now, most leaders believe they're calm until pressure reveals otherwise. Elite leaders train themselves to pause before reacting. This pause is not hesitation, it's power. It allows them to separate emotion from judgment, avoid ego-driven decisions, model stability for the entire organization, and your emotional state sets the ceiling for everyone else below you. Now that's true leadership. Shift number three is from identity to impact. And this is possibly and argumentatively the hardest shift to make. Many leaders unconsciously protect an identity. They're known as the visionary, the hardest worker, or the problem solver. Elite leaders let go of identity in service of impact. They ask themselves, what does this organization need from me right now? Who do I need to become next? That willingness to evolve is the true mark of leadership maturity. Now, here's the never ending paradox. The higher you go, the less honest feedback you receive. People filter what they say around you, they avoid challenging you, and they want to adapt to you instead of confronting you, which means leaders often operate inside an echo chamber, reinforced by results, status, and momentum. That's why leadership coaching at the executive level isn't about motivation or accountability. It's about perception, blind spots, thinking patterns, and pressure tested decision making. Now, this podcast exists for leaders who are no longer asking, how do I go faster? But instead, how do I lead at a level that matches the scale of what I'm building? In future episodes, we'll explore executive decision making under uncertainty, leadership presence and influence, internal resistance and self sabotage, and how elite leaders think when no one else is watching. So if you're a founder, executive, or a leader navigating complexity, you're in the right place. Thanks for listening.